Roddy Piper made a shocking appearance at Halloween Havoc and confronted world champion Hollywood Hulk Hogan following his successful title defense over Macho Man Randy Savage. In a war of words, the two proclaimed themselves true icons of professional wrestling and vowed to face each other in a one-on-one encounter to determine, once and for all, the true ultimate icon of the industry. Before this ultimate showdown, the second three-ring battle royal, consisting of 60 total competitors, waged war for an opportunity at a future world title match. The NWO's Outsiders defend their World Tag Team Championship in a triangle match with the Faces of Fear and the Nasty Boys, while Jeff Jarrett's conflict with the Giant carries over from Halloween Havoc. J Crown champion, the Ultimo Dragon makes his WCW pay-per-view debut against the sensational Rey Mysterio Jr., while Dean Malenko looks to continue his dominance over the Cruiserweight division against Psychosis. Colonel Parker's negligence cost Harlem Heat the tag team titles versus the Outsiders and subsequently aligned with the new French-Canadian team of Jacques Rougeau and Carl Ouellet. They look to avenge that defeat against the new team and former manager, while in special attractions, Parker faces Sister Sherry in a one-on-one encounter, and Chris Jericho seeks retribution over referee Nick Patrick. 1996. WCW World War III. The pay-per-view begins with a match between Rey Mysterio Jr. and J Crown champion, Ultimo Dragon. They trade holds, reversals, and takedowns, showcasing their agility. Dragon uses springboard dropkicks and suplexes, with interference from Sonny Ono. Dragon targets Rey's back and ribs, wearing him down with holds, power bombs, and brainbusters. He also delivers tombstones in the ring and on the floor. Mysterio tries to rally with a moonsault, dropkick, and plancha, but Dragon counters with a Super Frankensteiner and a Dragon suplex. After Mysterio makes several pin attempts, the Dragon catches him and turns a Hurricane Rana into a powerbomb for the win. In the next bout between Chris Jericho and NWO referee Nick Patrick, Jericho must have one arm tied behind his back. Jericho engages in a series of moves against Patrick, including shoves and tosses. He wins a test of strength, but Patrick keeps coming back and shoves Teddy Long. While fighting outside, Chris collides with a post, and Patrick attacks his arm, following with punches and a neck whip. However, Jericho fights back by ramming Nick into the buckles and performing a backdrop. Patrick tries to lure Chris into a trap but ends up getting slammed by Jericho, who finishes with a superkick to win the match. Next, the Giant and Jeff Jarrett meet in a rematch from Halloween Havoc. Jarrett attempts to take down the Giant but keeps getting pushed back. Jeff uses quick moves until the Giant delivers clotheslines. Jarrett tries more attacks, but the Giant fights back with powerful strikes. While they battle, fans notice Sting in the rafters. Sting approaches as the Giant continues his offense, performing several attacks. The Giant misses a big move, allowing Jarrett to take advantage with a flying crossbody. The Giant then falls out of the ring, and while the referee checks on him, Sting enters the ring and hits Jarrett with a Scorpion Death Drop, allowing the Giant to finish with a chokeslam for the victory. Before the next contest would be the contract signing for a match set for Starrcade between Hollywood Hulk Hogan and Roddy Piper. Piper arrives to sign the contract but instead encounters Bischoff, DiBiase, and Vincent, as Hogan is unavailable. Bischoff offers to sign for Hogan if the terms are acceptable, which Piper distrusts and threatens. Bischoff warns of fines if Piper acts out. Piper insists on seeing Hogan, who arrives with the NWO. Hogan proposes a humiliating moment by exposing Piper's hip surgery scar while signing the contract for Starrcade. A fight ensues when Piper slaps Hogan, leading to the NWO attacking him. Hogan injures Piper's hip with a chair and spray paints NWO on his leg. Despite the assault, Piper vows no retreat and no surrender. Harlem Heat, with Sister Sherry, takes on the amazing French Canadians, with Colonel Parker, in the next tag team contest. Booker T and Jacques take turns knocking each other down and getting back up until the Canadians succeed in a double team effort, but Stevie counters with a back suplex and a bicycle kick. Harlem Heat also tries double teaming as Booker T performs a spinner Rooney. However, he is low bridged by Jacques, allowing the Canadians to use combination moves like a leg sweep clothesline and a Boston Crab diving leg drop. After some chaos leads to the ref being taken out, the Canadians hit a spike pile driver. They tried tandem cannonball but miss, allowing Booker T to execute a Harlem hangover for the win. As a result, Sherry gets to meet Parker in the ring. Parker is very upset and criticizes the Canadians, not noticing when Sherry comes into the ring. She punches him and slams him into the turnbuckles before throwing him over the ropes. Parker tries to escape, but Sherry follows him into another ring, where she performs jumping clotheslines. She then does a flying crossbody, but the Canadians grab Parker and run away, leading everyone chasing after them. Dean Malenko defends the Cruiserweight Championship against Psychosis in the next match. The match features exchanges of various wrestling techniques, including leg holds, takeovers, and head scissors. Psychosis makes a comeback with kicks and drop kicks. After a springboard attempt fails, Malenko takes control with submissions and moves targeting the leg. Psychosis responds with a backbreaker, a corkscrew plancha, and a super Frankensteiner. One of the most impressive moments in the match occurred when Malenko finally scored on a tombstone pile driver, following multiple reversals. Eventually, Malenko secures victory with a rolling prawn hold to retain the title. The WCW World Tag Team Championships would be contested in a triangle match between champions, the Outsiders representing the NWO, the Faces of Fear, and the Nasty Boys. In the match, the Outsiders allowed both teams to fight freely, while only tagging when it suited them, and leaving the ring when threatened. The Nasty Boys and the Faces of Fear continue to brawl, with Barbarian delivering clotheslines, slams, and Meng executes a pile driver. The Outsiders interrupt pin attempts with side slams and punches, forcing Barbarian and Meng to face each other, then tag out when the other team shows signs of recovery. The Nasty Boys target Barbarian's leg while the Outsiders join in. Knobs and Barbarian eventually tagged into the match, leading to a double team between the Nasty Boys and the Faces of Fear. Meng and Knobs make the Outsiders face off, with Nash laying down for Hall, but the other teams intervene. This distraction creates a huge brawl, allowing Hall to use Jimmy Hart's megaphone and Nash to execute a jackknife for the win to keep the belts. The event closes with the World War III 60-man Battle Royal, with the world title shot at stake. The Dungeon and the Horsemen brawl in the ring and crowd, leading refs to dismiss both groups. Meanwhile, the NWO sticks together, making several eliminations, as Luger eliminates both members of High Voltage and others gang up on Ron Studd. DDP battles Guerrero, while the American males eliminate each other, and smaller groups gather together. The NWO aids the Giant, and while WCW teams up against them, DDP remains neutral and targets Guerrero. The Giant eliminates Mysterio, and Luger nearly overcomes the Giant, but ultimately, the Giant wins the match after eliminating Luger and Nash. Nash rises slowly but joins Scott Hall in 6, in celebration of the Giant's victory. Heading into the premier event of the year, Starrcade, Dean Malenko is on a collision course with the newest Cruiserweight Phenom and J-Crown champion, Ultimo Dragon. World Championship Wrestling and its relationship with New Japan Wrestling flexed its movement as Jushin Thunder Liger would return, and a new women's championship would be established between Medusa and Akira Hokuto. Jeff Jarrett's Horseman status has been compromised and in question, as he needed to prove himself against Chris Benoit, while Eddie Guerrero and Diamond Dallas Page fight it out for the vacant United States Championship. But unmistakably, the catalyst of professional wrestling's golden age, Hogan Piper, looms large. Heading into the premier event of the year, Starrcade, Dean Malenko is on a collision course with the newest cruiserweight phenom and J-Crown champion, Ultimo Dragon. World Championship Wrestling in its relationship with New Japan Wrestling flexed its movement as Jushin